Welcome back. If you've been with us, or if you're first joining us for the first time here, welcome to the Southeastern Wisconsin Virtual Youth Services Performers Showcase. This showcase is sponsored by the SEWI Library Systems, which include Arrowhead Library System, Bridges Library System, Kenosha County Library System, Lakeshores Library System, Milwaukee County Federated Library System, and Monarch Library Systems. My name is Jason Penkoffer. I'm a library associate at the Waukesha Public Library, and I'll be your MC for this session. All attendees will be muted and webcams turned off, and the chat will be disabled so you can just relax and view the demonstrations without interruptions. If you have any problems or questions, please submit those in the Q&A box. You can find the Q&A box in the lower portion of your screen if you're using a computer, or the upper portion of your mobile device, tablet or phone. All of these sessions will be recorded and made available on YouTube for a limited time. You will find the YouTube link on page 1 of your program booklet. For your convenience, in the chat box, we will post a link to a view-only copy of the program booklet. Please note that the viewable copy is only available during these performer showcase sessions. And then the recordings that we're making will be available from November 22nd, 2020 until June 1st, 2021. Again, that link is right on page 1 of your booklet. Our 3 performers for this hour are Corcoran Puppets, Prismatic Magic Laser Show, and Storybook Enchantments. Each performer will have up to 10 minutes to provide a sample performance, and then up to 5 minutes to answer some of your questions. So if you have questions for the performers, you do not have to wait for the Q&A to start to type those into the Q&A box. Whenever you have that question, type it in, and then we'll ask it during the Q&A. All right, let's begin our showcase session. Our first performer is Corcoran Puppets, and they are on page 12 of the booklet. You can select from traditional puppet booth shows, traditional tales with a fun and friendly twist, or imagine that, a silly sing-along performed with Czech rod marionettes in an authentic Czech family theater. Take it away, Corcoran Puppets.
I can't believe it. My Oma has thrown me out of the troll cave. Down in the roots of this tree, there's a cave where a bunch of us trolls live. Well, she said if I don't take a bath, I had to leave. She said I smelled worse than rotting potatoes. But, you see, I don't like to take baths. I don't like to get wet. No. I do not like to take baths. I do not like to get wet. Don't try to make me scrub my nails. Don't try to make me scrub my tooth. She called me uncouth. Perhaps it's the truth. I don't even know what uncouth means.
Alright. It means lacking in polish and grace, awkward and uncultivated in appearance and manner. In other words, rude, and that suits you to a T.
But Oma. Well, I'm gonna have to find someplace else to live. Let's check out this tree over here. Well, I don't know. If I lived under the tree and it rained, I'd get wet. And I don't like to get wet. Let's check out this bridge over here. Well, probably be good for my back, but if it rained, I'd get wet. Aha! What's this? Why? It kind of looks like a cave under there, especially over on the other side. I'll grab my bundle here. Oma packed up some things when she threw me out. Said I should change my clothes. Oh, here we go. Stash my undie bundle right over there. Oh, this goes back quite a ways. Oh, yeah, so this should work. Well, I guess I'm going to have to live under here. But you know, I'm beginning to feel a mite peckish. That means I'm hungry. Looks like there's some fish in the stream here, but I don't want to get wet. So I'll just sit back and wait until something crosses the bridge, and then I'll grab it and eat that. Hope something comes pretty soon.
Oh no, I'm so scared. My brothers and I found that there's a troll, a cave troll, that he moved out of the troll cave and he's living under the bridge. And oh, we're so scared, but we made a plan because you see, we crossed the bridge to go eat the grass on the other side. And the plan was that I have to go first, but I'm scared. But I have to be brave. So here it goes. Oh, no. Oh, I have to do it or we'll never get to eat the green grass again. All right, here it goes. I must be brave. Trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap.
Hey, who's that crossing my bridge?
Oh, it is I, Billy Goat Bart, the littlest Billy Goat Gruff.
Billy Goat Bart, eh? Well, I'm going to make you into Billy Goat Tart. And I'm going to eat you for lunch.
Oh, but Mr. Troll, I'm the littlest Billy Goat Gruff, and you are a very big troll. Why, I'd barely be an appetizer for you. I think you should wait for my bigger brother. He'll be coming along any minute.
Oh, a bigger goat? I am a big troll. You're right. Go ahead, little goat.
Okay. Chip, chop, chip, chop, chip, chop, chip, chop, chip, chop, chip, chop.
Now the question is, will a bigger goat come along? Will I ever get a chance to move back into the troll cave? That all remains to be seen. Troll out.
All righty. So, folks, that was a sample of the Three Billy Goats Gruff. I'm Jolly, and Jolly, yes? Jolly, you have to look at the camera. Oh, the camera. Oh, like right there? Yeah, that's good. Okay, so Pam is down there, and I'm up here by the camera. So I am going to answer your questions. She doesn't know how to change from the webcam to the computer cam, so we'll do it this way. So we're ready for questions.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Pam and Jolly. I have one question to start with. Are you all open to libraries collaborating together to book a virtual or in-performance,
What do you think, Pam?
in-person performance?
Oh, yes. Yep. She definitely is.
That's wonderful. All right, great. That's good to hear. Let's see. Let me look at my list of other questions here. Have you done virtual performances before, or is this something that you're learning along with the rest of us?
Well, Pam did some recorded performances this past summer for several of those that had to cancel their shows.
Mm-hmm.
And then this fall, she took a class, a workshop from another puppeteer who lives in California, who's really good at the tech stuff. And he's been coaching her and helping her to figure things out and learn how to do all this stuff.
Oh, that's great. Great. All right. All right. Oh, I've got a question from Kim here. Do you have a setup that allows large audiences to see the puppets like a raised platform?
Well, the thing with puppet shows is now, like with this stage right here, this is it's about 5 feet wide and about 6 or 8 feet tall, 6, 7 feet tall. And if the children are sitting on the floor, the sight lines are great because they're looking up and over the top of the child in front of them.
Mhm.
If it were in a room where it's all chairs, it would be better to have it up on a higher platform. But if kids are on the floor, this stage works great on the floor.
Okay, great. All right. Let's see. All right, so here's another question. How did you become a performer? How did you get into puppet shows?
Okay, when Pam was a little girl, she didn't play very much with dolls. She played with puppets. And then she went to college and majored in geology. After a while, she went back to school. She always loved the arts, theater, painting, making stuff, music. Well, she went back to school and took a class in puppetry because in puppetry, you get to do all of that stuff. And so it's kind of like she went back to being that little girl who made up stories with her puppets, except now she does it for other people.
Wonderful. Okay. One of the questions that we were getting a lot on the first day is if there's any difference between your fees for virtual shows and between your fees for virtual shows and in-person shows, or if there's any flexibility or leeway there.
Yes, there is a
Fantastic.
difference because for a virtual show, it will be, let's see, what was it? It's like $75 less. Oh, okay. So it'll be probably, I think it was $250 because she doesn't have to drive and the setup, set up in a different place all the time. So virtual shows are definitely going to be less expensive.
Right. All right. And then we'll finish out with this one last question. This is a bit of a tricky one. Give us 3 words that describe you or your performance style.
Imaginative, fun, and kind.
That's wonderful. All right. Well, thank you so much for that demonstration, Jolly and Pam. And again, if you have any further questions for them, their contact information is right there on page 12 of your booklet. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you, Pam and Corcoran Puppets. Now, going to move on to our next performer for this session. On page 34 of your booklet, it's Prismatic Magic Laser Show. Educational, inspirational, and tons of fun. Their programs combine captivating performers, high-tech lasers, and toe-tapping music. They have many exciting themes available, including, but not limited to, anti-bullying, Black history, space science, winter holiday, and laser mania. Take it away, Prismatic Magic Laser Show.
Thank you, Jason, and good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Dave. I am president of Prismatic Magic Laser Programs, and I'm thrilled to let you know a little bit about what it is that we do. So each year that there isn't a pandemic, we visit about 1,000 schools and libraries, and they trust us to dazzle their kids with lasers and learning. Now, in response to COVID, we've adapted our assemblies to bring that same energy right to your screen. We've combined the best parts of our in-person shows and a bunch of behind-the-scenes sneak peeks and skits that we actually couldn't do in our in-person shows in order to make that an exciting and engaging experience. So we offer both live shows and virtual shows. And to anticipate a question I'm sure there will be, our virtual shows are a little bit less expensive than our live shows. So we've prepared a video, and so I'd like them to go ahead and Angela, play our video, and I'll be back on the other side.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
So, in keeping with the theme of today's show, let's draw a face like this. Now, our character here is not really displaying any emotion. He has no expression. I want to make this character look happy, like he's having the time of his life right now. And I can do that just by changing one line, like so. And what about some other emotions? Can I take this from happy to sad just by changing one line again? Absolutely. How about tired? Or angry?
Touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Hello. My name is Albert Einstein. Perhaps you have heard of me. Did you know that the first visible laser was produced in 1960? Did you also know that in 1917, I had a thought experiment?
Not fake like a Star Trek phaser. I'm the first man to theorize about the laser. From the fatherland, Switzerland, and Jersey. On the drop science, son, you better know me.
Happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. When the architects of our republic wrote the magnificent words of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. This note was a promise that all men would be guaranteed the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the...
All right. So for our in-person shows, what we do is we transform your space into a mini laser theater to get your kids clapping, cheering, and singing, all while learning. And all of our assemblies, whether in person or virtual, use music to engage with your kids. And we have a dozen different themes available to suit whatever it is that you're looking for. We offer shows ranging from winter holiday to Black history, and from reading to science. And so with that, we end all of our shows, whether virtual or in person, with a Q&A where we get to play with some lasers and show the kids a little bit of the secrets of how we do our shows. And so with that, why don't we go right into the Q&A here with Jason.
All right. Excellent. All right, so we've got a few questions that have come through here. You kind of addressed the one of them, how you engage your audience during virtual shows, with the Q&A at the end. So I'm gonna mark that one down. And then the next question, that was from Caitlin. Hopefully you've addressed that for Caitlin. If not, Caitlin, drop another question into the Q&A. Next is from Bethany. Do you offer pre-recorded shows for the virtual programming? And if so, how long is the library allowed to share those videos? Like, are they able to keep them up on their Facebook page for a certain amount of time? Something like that.
Right, and so there's two ways that we do it depending on what people are looking for. Some people prefer a basically live broadcast so that everyone is having a shared experience. And we certainly offer that. So everyone is watching the same thing at the same exact time. Other people, for their scheduling reasons, prefer just having access to the show and people can view it at different times, and we offer that as well. And of course, we work with people for whatever platform they need in order to be able to view the virtual show.
Great. And then kind of a corollary to that, is there anything that the libraries need to worry about, like copyright wise, as far as having the videos available? Because I know a big thing for us has been which books we're allowed to use and how long we're allowed to leave those videos up and things like that. So are there any copyright concerns that we have to worry about, like with the music and so on?
Right, Prismatic Magic has the music rights to everything that we show. So we're in good shape with that.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. Next, we've got a question from Kim. What setup do you require for your in-person shows? And does the room need to be completely dark?
That's a great question. Now, lasers love darkness, but a lot of little kids don't. And so we visited over 10,000 schools, ranging from theaters that can be made completely dark to literally doing shows in rooms that have skylights. So we always say anything that you can do to make the room a little bit darker, certainly worth the effort. But right here, I'm in a fully lit room, and I can just take my handheld laser here, and you obviously can see everything that's going on. And well, I'm not skilled enough to draw those amazing laser images just with my hand, but our projectors can. So you certainly don't require complete darkness or anything even close to it.
That's great. All right. Another question is, can you customize your virtual performances to the community that you're working with? Like if a particular library has a need for some sort of customization of those virtual shows?
Yes, obviously we handle that on a case-by-case basis, and so it depends on what you need. But we typically do close to 2,000 performances a year nationwide, and as you can imagine, people have different needs for those 2,000. So we've gotten really good at tailoring things to fit specific communities. And if our 12 themes that we have off the shelf aren't perfect, we can customize them just a little bit to make sure that they are for you.
That's wonderful. Thank you. We've got a question from Katie. Is it possible to have your show outside projected against a building at night with the sound transmitted over radio, for example, so people could enjoy the show in their car, like a drive-in type situation?
And what I would say to you is funny you should mention that, because we weren't planning on talking about it here. But yes, Prismatic Magic is actually developing something that we call laser nights. And I would encourage you to go to lasernights.com, which is exactly what you're talking about. It is, rather than kind of a retro movie, drive-in movie experience, it is a futuristic laser drive-in experience. And it's much like you described. So go ahead and check out lasernights.com, or just reach out to us or our friends at Class Act.
All right, well, great. And that's all the time we have for Q&A. So thank you very much, Dr. David. And thank you, Prismatic Magic Laser Show. Once again, that's there on page 34 of your books there. Next, we're going to move to our final performer. Now, unfortunately, they can't be with us live today, but we do have some videos that they've sent along to show you. Our final performer today is Storybook Enchantments. They are on page 39 of your program booklet there. So if you want to flip to that page, you'll find some more information there. They specialize in character meet and greet story times and sing-alongs. This showcase features their new category, The Princess and the Pianist, featuring an interactive story time with live accompaniment for an immersive enrichment experience. So now we're going to cue up that video, the sample video from Storybook Enchantments. Enjoy.
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Cinderella. It's lovely to meet you. This is my royal musician, Jeff. He's going to add some music to our story today. Now, this is just going to be a very short version of our story. Well, what better story to start with than the story about how I became a princess? Now, a princess isn't about what you wear or how you look. It's about what's inside and how you act. Well, let's start our story with how all stories start. Does anybody know what those famous words are? That's right. Once upon a time. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Ella. Oh, why, that's me. I had a father who loved me very much, and I loved him. He felt that I needed a mother, so he married a woman named Lady Tremaine, and who had two wicked stepsisters named Anastasia and Drizella. Now, when my father passed away, I was left in Anastasia and Drizella's charge, and instead of letting me be their sister, they made me a servant in my own home. And I had to do all of the chores. I had to scrub the floors and cook the meals and do the laundry and take care of the animals and clean the windows and anything that you could think of. Well, do you have any chores that you do at home? You do. Now, it's very important to do our chores. And one day, I was going about my chores. Now, can you pretend you have a bucket and a cloth, and we're all going to scrub the floor together? Can you make circles? Oh, very good job. Oh, yes, and now we're going to move on to the windows. Can you scrub the windows? Excellent. And let's sweep the kitchen. Use your broom. Very good. Is there anything left to do? What other chores do you think we should do? Oh, cook the food. Yes, that's very important. Jug and Gus Gus and even Lucifer the cat have to eat. Oh, and I suppose Anastasia and Drizella too. Oh, so let's reach up into the cupboard and cook some food. Here's a little pot. Can we stir some soup? We're going to make some soup today because it's a very cool day, isn't it? What should we put in our soup? Oh, should we put some tomatoes? Very good suggestion. Thank you. Or how about some green peppers? Very nice. Chop, 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 and put that in your bowl. Is it ready? Very good. Well, one day, my chores were disturbed when there was a knock at the door.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Oh, Sir Geoffrey, that's the wrong story. But we do offer that story as well, too. Anyways, back to our story. Well, I was doing my chores, and the knock at the door was a duke. And he had a scroll. Said, and this royal
proclamation announces that every eligible maiden in the kingdom is asked to attend the King's Ball tonight at 8 p.m. Tonight? Any eligible maiden? Well, I ran to my stepmother. Why, that means I can go to the ball too. And she looked at me and she said, yes, you may go to the ball, only if you do all of your chores and pick the vegetables from the garden, chop them all, scrub the floors for a second time, wash the windows, fold the laundry, feed the animals, and press the gowns. Oh, there's no way I could possibly do all those chores in one day, but it was my dream to go to the ball, so I knew I had to try. Well, Jock and Gus were working hard, making my mother's dress into a ball gown. I didn't even know. Well, when I went up to my attic after I finished all my chores, it was just about time to leave to the ball. My dress was all ready. Oh, Jock and Gus, you saved the day. Thank you. I came running down the stairs. Can you pitter-patter your feet? Can you run down the stairs? Oh, good job. And I said, wait! I can go to the ball too. And my stepsisters, they got out of the carriage and they saw that the sash and pearls and some of the things I was wearing, Jock and Gus had taken from their rooms. Hey, that's my sash, Drizella said, and she ripped it off my dress. Those are my pearls, Anastasia said, and the pearls scattered everywhere, and they kept pulling and pulling until there was nothing left of my ball gown but rags. Oh, I couldn't go to the ball looking like that. They went off to the ball, and I ran to the garden and wept. I worked so hard to make my dreams come true. Suddenly, just as if appearing out of a cloud, a kind woman appeared. I am your fairy godmother, she said. She was very kind and comforting, and she had a magic wand in her pocket that she pulled out. Now, I'm going to need your help, friends. Next part of the story, there's 3 magic words that my fairy godmother uses. Does anybody know what those words are? Bibbidi, bobbidi, boo. Now I need you to say them with me to help the magic happen. Well, first we need a way to get to the ball. Oh, she took an ordinary pumpkin, and with those 3 magic words, can you say it with me? Bibbidi, bobbidi, boo. She turned it into a carriage. Well, now we need something to pull the carriage, don't we? She looked over at Jock and Gus, who were trying to run away, and with those 3 words, she said, bibbidi, bobbidi, boo! Jock and Gus returned from mice to horses. They were ready to pull the carriage. Well, I can't go to the ball looking like this, I said to my fairy godmother. Oh, no, dear, you cannot. Let me see here. And with one more wave of her magic wand and a bibbidi bobbidi boo, she transformed my rags into the ball gown I'm wearing for you today. Oh, I'm delighted, I said. I can't wait to go to the ball. Thank you so much. Thank you. She said, now, dear, not all magic can last forever. And at the stroke of midnight, all will be as it was. And you're off to the ball. Now we need your help. We need to go to the ball together. So can you take your hands to the floor and make a clapping? Very good job. When I arrived at the ballroom, there were people dancing and twirling all about. Can you dance? Girls, if you're wearing a skirt, you can twirl your skirt. And gentlemen, you can take a little bow. Perhaps you might step. Yes, that was wonderful. When we were going about our joyous dancing, when suddenly a gentleman asked me to dance. He was very handsome. And he said, may I have this dance? And I said, I'd be delighted. And we danced and danced the whole evening through. In fact, I started to lose track of time. It was so wonderful. When suddenly I heard something. Oh, it's midnight. I must go, I said. But wait, you haven't told me your name. Oh, I'm sorry, there's no time. And I ran down the stairs, and as I was running, I left something behind. It was my glass slipper. Well, I had no time to go back. So I kept running because the magic was breaking. The carriage had turned back into a pumpkin. The horse were back to Jock and Gus, and I was wearing my rags once again. But one thing remained, the other glass slipper. So I kept it in my pocket. My stepmother started to notice that something was unusual, and she realized that I was the mysterious woman at the ball. So she locked me in the attic when she had found out that the Duke was coming around the kingdom to have every eligible maiden try on the glass slipper that was left behind at the ball. Okay, there was a knock at the door.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Sir Geoffrey, that's still the wrong story. It was the Grand Duke, and he had come with the glass slipper to try on every eligible maiden to see whose foot fit the slipper, and whoever's foot fit was to become the princess. Well, I was trapped in my attic. No, please let me out, I said, while Anastasia and Drizella were fighting over who could fit the slipper. Ow! That hurts! Oh, my foot is too big! And she would cram it in there. Well, neither of them could get their foot to fit the slipper. And just as the Duke was leaving, Jock and Gus Gus had snuck a key out of my stepmother's pocket, unlocked the attic door, and they came running down. Wait! May I try on the slipper? I said. Well, at that moment, my jealous stepmother put her cane out right in front of the Duke and tricked him. And suddenly, there was a crash. The glass slipper shattered all over the floor. Oh, my, he said. Can you make a surprised face? What face would you make? Oh, very good job, boys and girls. Very good surprised faces. Well, that's the face that the Grand Duke made. He was very surprised. But I said, wait, I have the other glass slipper. And I put it on, and it was a perfect fit. So the Duke took me back to the palace where I was reunited with the prince, and we're living happily ever after. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for listening to our story. This is just one of many stories we have. They can be musical and interactive, and they can be off your favorite children's books, whether it's princesses or a famous story, whatever you would like for your program. We would love to be a part of it and create characters and music to enrich the lives of children. But we hope you have a magical day. See you soon.
All right, so that's the video from Storybook Enchantments. Really quickly, before we go to their Q&A video, we've got a testimonial from Caitlin. Caitlin says, I had Storybook Enchantments this summer. Abby was extremely adaptable and communicative, and my patrons loved our sing-along with Anna and Christoph. It was very affordable and professional. So there you go. That's a little testimonial there for you. Next up, we do have that Q&A video. If there are any questions that you have for Storybook Enchantments that aren't covered in the video, remember their contact information is right on page 39 in your booklet, so you can get in touch with them via phone or email. All right, so now we're going to go to that Q&A video.
Hi, my name is Abby, and I am the owner of Storybook Enchantments. I was just recently seen as Cinderella, and I happen to know a few other princess friends. But thank you so much for watching, and I'm so sad that I can't be there in person to interact with you, but I do have some questions that have been submitted, so I wanted to make sure I answered those for you. The first question is, would you entertain libraries collaborating to bring you to their libraries either virtually or in person, as in sharing costs or a price break for multiple bookings? Yes, absolutely. So we usually do discount for multiple bookings, the same library. So we usually give a 20 to 30% discount depending on the nature of the services for additional bookings. And as for cost sharing for multiple libraries, if say it's a virtual event and multiple libraries want to host and market that event, say it's a sing-along or a story time, and you don't think one library will get the audience that you want a larger audience, that is completely fine if you want to work together. I know times are tough, and so we're just happy to bring joy to kids in any way we can. And the second question is, if it is virtual, will you allow the library to post a video recording of the performance for a certain period of time? Yes, absolutely. So I generally recommend a private link that can be sent out to clients somehow. Their copyright is tricky on Facebook. So if we have a sing-along, we can't post that on Facebook just because the music is generally copyright, unless we have our own accompanist that is playing the background music and it's not hosted from like a karaoke track. But if it's just our standard sing-along that's hosted with a karaoke track, a lot of times that audio is removed, for copyright. But if it's just a story time or a character interaction, that is more than welcome to be posted. And we're just happy to spread that joy. Well, thank you so much for your questions. If you have any additional questions, don't hesitate to email me at storybookenchantments@gmail.com. And I hope to work with you soon sometime. Have a great day.
Kids, they're here!
Hi.
The sing-along, that's today.
Right. Anna, just relax. It's okay.
Okay, but we have so much to do. Did you get the music ready?
I got it.
Oh, well, did you choreograph?
The trolls are naturally born dancers. They taught me everything I know.
That's what I was worried about.
You
and I
were
just
meant to be.
Say goodbye.
Say goodbye to the pain of the past. We don't have to feel it anymore. Love's an open door. Love's an open door. New world. That's where we'll be. A thrilling chase.
A wondrous place
For you and me.
All right. Well, thanks again to Storybook Enchantment and to all of our performers today, Prismatic Magic Light Show and Corcoran Puppets. Thank you all for being with us for this session this afternoon. Next, we're going to be taking a break as we prepare for our next session. So take some time to get up, stretch your legs, answer some emails, grab a cup of coffee or have some lunch, whatever you need to do. Our next session is going to start at 1 p.m., so a little over an hour from now. If you're planning to attend that session, you can stay on this call or you can, again, rejoin it from that link in your email. Thank you so much for being with us today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of the showcase. Everyone, take care.